Hey cocktail fans, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you 3 fantastic wintry cocktails using ODK's maple syrup. Now this maple syrup from ODK is absolutely fantastic. Think like what you do with honey syrup. If you use honey in cocktails, it's a little bit too thick, so hence why a lot of bartenders and we buy stuff from various different syrup suppliers like a honey syrup, because you kind of mix your honey down 2-to-1 with water just to thin it out slightly. So that's why we kind of use maple syrups like this in cocktails, because it just works phenomenally well. But the flavour of this is fantastic. Now when it comes to creating your own cocktails and your own riffs, maple can be a simple alternative to your plain or brown or demerara sugar that you'd use in a lot of your cocktails. It's a great replacement in that respect, but it does also add a different flavour dimension, as you'll see with the 3 cocktails coming up. And this is the thing I want to get across in this video, because when you say wintry cocktails to a lot of people, they automatically think hot cocktails, like mulled apple juice or hot water or something like that to make the cocktails hot chocolates. However, wintry cocktails can just be those wintry flavors, like maple is one for me, that just come through and give you sort of a nice big cuddle inside. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive in and show you how to make these 3 cocktails. So the first recipe I'm going to show you today is a maple and apricot old-fashioned. Absolutely delicious. This will work with rum as well, but I'm going standard sort of whiskey. So the ingredients and the equipment that you're going to need, let's go for the whiskey first. I'm just using Jim Beam, but your favorite American bourbon, rye, whatever you use, your favorite whiskey of choice in there. So we've got that. We've got the ODK maple syrup, the Monin apricot brandy liqueur. This is really good stuff actually, but play around with your favorite apricot brandy in there. And I've got some Angostura bitters. And then to garnish, we've got a Frona dried orange, Luxardo maraschino cherry. You kind of need maraschino cherries in an old fashioned, don't you? And then to make the cocktail, it's not a shaken cocktail, stirred down. So mixing glass or a cocktail shaker of your choice, spoon to stir it. And then I've just got a Hawthorne strainer to stop the ice coming out. And then my rocks glass, my tumbler glass or whiskey glass, whatever you want to call it, is chilling down nicely in the freezer. So your first ingredient is your whiskey, and you want 50ml double bubble, or if you're in the US or around the world, then your standard 60ml, 2 ounces. Now adjust the taste to this, but I don't think you need any more than sort of 10 to 15ml. I'm going to split the difference, about 12.5ml there of this maple syrup. And then I'm going for 15ml, half an ounce of the apricot brandy. Your Angostura bitters are your seasonings, so do you, but I've got 2 dashes. Pop some ice in your mixing glass. Now when it comes to stirring the cocktail, there is no right or wrong. Do 15 seconds if you like it really strong and just a little bit chilled. You could do 30 seconds, which adds a tiny bit more dilution to kind of balance out the flavors even more, or you could go longer. You do you. Don't let anyone tell you different. You stir it for however long you want to. And take your glass out of the freezer and then just strain your old-fashioned over the top of fresh ice. Then to garnish, I've just got the dried orange there, which will give you kind of like the zesty aromas, and then just that maraschino cherry. Honestly, I love that. Maple and whiskey just works so well together. But to bring a little bit of apricot into the mix as well, it's fantastic. Again, the Angostura bitters are there, not too heavy. I think 2 dashes is perfect, but if you want to go for a 3rd dash or drop it down to 1 dash, again, do you. But that is absolutely delicious. Now recipe 2, I've called it a daiquiri, but it's not really a daiquiri, but you know what I'm like with naming cocktails. But I've called this a maple and grapefruit daiquiri, essentially. Ingredients, you're going to need some aged rum, your favourite aged rum. I've gone Cuban for this, because I actually think the lighter sort of notes of a column still rum actually work better with grapefruit. That's just me, personally. Do you? We've got the maple syrup. I've squeezed off some fresh red grapefruit or pink grapefruit juice or whatever you want to call it. So we've got some grapefruit there, some Angostura bitters, garnished with a Frona dried lime. And then to make the cocktail shaker, your Hawthorne strainer, which is just in the wash up over there, and a jigger obviously to measure stuff out. So first ingredient, 50ml double bubble of your favorite rum, or 60ml if you're in the US. Then I'm going for 30ml of this grapefruit juice, 15ml of this lovely maple syrup, gorgeous stuff. Just runny enough for cocktails without being over thick, like proper high grade maple syrup. And then as always, you do you with your Angostura bitters. I've just got a couple of dashes in there. Load your shaker with plenty of ice. Then take your Nick and Nora glass out of the freezer and double strain your cocktail. Then just garnish with your dried lime wheel. Honestly, that is so good and so different. It kind of fools you into thinking it's a daiquiri with grapefruit juice instead of lime. But a maple syrup with grapefruit juice and a touch of Angostura bitters. I just love that combination. That is really delicious. Love that. And then for your third recipe, I promise you this tastes amazing. I've tried this out a few times at home. I've working title, Spiced Maple Punch. Dive into the comments below, give me another name for this. So let's go for the ingredients. I've gone for a lovely spiced rum, British scratch rum, unsweetened as well. Really delicious spiced rum. I've got out the Angostura Amaro here. So think a liqueur version of the Angostura bitters with that same flavour profile. It's delicious. We've got the maple syrup from ODK. We've got the falernum from ODK, which is slightly different to the velvet falernum that you know and love. This is great stuff. We've got some lime juice. We've got some pineapple juice, pressed pineapple juice. And then to garnish, some of the Frona dried pineapple. And then I've got a couple of sprigs of mint. To make the cocktail, shaken cocktail, cocktail shaker, hawthorn strainer, ice in there, glass in the freezer, chilling down. Start off with the spiced rum, 50 ml double bubble of that. The Amaro Angostura, 15 ml of that. Keeping with the 15 mils for the moment, we'll go to the maple syrup. So 15 ml of the ODK maple syrup. Still on the 15 ml, lime juice this time. Then we're coming down to 10 ml this time of the falernum. I promise you, this stuff is gorgeous. 50 ml UK double bubble of pressed pineapple juice. Load your cocktail shaker with plenty of ice. Take your favourite highball glass or tiki glass out of the freezer and strain your cocktail over fresh ice. And garnish with some fresh sprigs of mint. Look at that. And your two slices of dried pineapple from Frona. That is again really tasty. What you get there, you get the spiced rum, you get the Angostura Amaro coming out. The maple and the pineapple, again, it's another flavour combination that I absolutely love. I don't know why it works. It's like mango and chilli. I don't know why it works. It's just phenomenal. Maple and pineapple is fantastic. It's a very simple but very, very tasty maple punch, spiced maple punch. Love that.